If you are single and looking to slide into someone's DM, your social media has to be on point. No matter if it's Facebook or Instagram, WJJ Brands develops and delivers high-quality graphic design services that enhances the image and message your brand is trying to portray. Enjoy 10% off on Black Fly on the Wall with promo code BLKFLY10.
One of the things that kind of like, I don't want to say I struggle with, but I think about, right? So when you say the intent of dating, right? I think what is the intent of dating? Not like just your intent, but what is the purpose of dating? Like, because when you hear about dating, it's usually for the end goal. But if that's not your intent going in, should you be dating? You know what I mean? Like, I struggle with that too. Like, if you're not ready for the end goal, should you even be dating?
I think so, because I think it's pivotal for teenagers to date, because it teaches them about themselves. It teaches them about what they like. It teaches them about what they dislike. And so at a younger age, dating is more recreational for you. But as you age and as you mature at whatever age of maturity you hit, then that recreational dating now transitions to purposeful dating, to be a spouse for someone.
I dreamed about this opportunity and this moment for a long time. You know, my dream has become a reality now, and it's the best feeling I ever had.
The devil wouldn't have existed if I would've lived in BC. Them type of haters never make it, spreading love at this speed. Started rapping back when Cash Money dropped, bling bling. This the sequel to the Dr. King I Have a Dream speech. Martin was peace, now March is like MMA. The street don't got feelings, they hearts is in the bank. We need 100 black billionaires in USA, and a black Wall Street on every MLK. I'm paid now, I had a dream and my ancestors said these dead presidents my slaves now.
What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Black Fly on the Wall. Today's episode is, what does it mean to date with intent? Hot topic. Got some familiar faces with me. I'm gonna let them introduce yourself. We're gonna start off with my boy AV to the right.
What's happening? What we saying? I'm AV. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a risk manager. I invest in real estate, I'm a consultant. Yeah, we here.
What's your most important job, man?
I'm a dad. I'm a husband.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you gotta give me jammed. I ain't know which one to say. I'm saying which one.
Just cover the girls.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. And so I've dated quite a bit in my life. We're gonna talk about that. So let's do it.
Okay. All right. Next, Sam.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Sam, I am the Master Man at Master and the Man. What's going on? Welcome back.
All right, next up.
Pierre Bless, rapper, father, entrepreneur, spread love life.
Hey.
That's what's up. So, fellas, we talking about an interesting topic today. Ooh. You know, a good topic, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a topic that crosses the mind of everybody, whether you're a man or a woman, when it comes to dating. And it's the fundamental question of, what does it mean to date with intent? So, you know, PJ, what does it mean to date with intent to you as a man, as a father? What does that word intent in regards to dating mean to you?
To me, the way that I view it, that you getting in a relationship or getting in a situation with intention for the future of what, you know what I'm saying, of what the relationship is going to be. You actually have like a goal in mind or a vision of what your relationship is going to be, the successes of it, which everybody should be thinking. Because if you're going into it thinking about failures, then you're already in the wrong place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you got everything in order and you're dating with intent, then you have like focus, you know, of the success of the relationship or where we're going, whether that's marriage or if we're going to date for a while or we're going to do this or that. You know what I'm saying? You have it planned out and it's going to succeed.
All right. So, is there like an appropriate time where you should introduce that conversation to the woman that you're dating when it comes down to intent?
I think, so for me, that's like the purpose, right? Like why you're dating. So I think when you first meet somebody, you can really have that conversation for real if you want to. But I think you should definitely have an idea, a goal in mind of what you're even pursuing a person for. It could just be dinner. Then just let that person know, like, you know what I mean? I'm not looking for anything.
I'm just trying to eat.
We're just trying to eat. I'm just trying to spend some time. But if you're really looking for like an end goal, I think it is good to kind of set that intention up early, because now y'all both can be on the same page. Like, it's one thing when she wants to just eat and you looking for marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you let her know from day one,
That's
like,
a big gap.
yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking if you let her know from day one, like, yo, you know what? I'm I'm looking for marriage and like I'm dating for a purpose, then I think she can kind of set in her mind, all right, is this something that I want to pursue, or you know what I mean? But it goes both ways.
So, AV, as a married man, how has this question shifted since you've been married?
I think the very first thing that came to mind as we've been having this conversation is that, or at least things that I accepted as a married person, is that our intentions are not static. You know what I mean? That intentions change and that they're fluid, and that, you know, that's not something that I think I was thinking about when I was dating, that, oh, I might, you know, bump into you. I'm sure it was in the back of my mind somewhere, but I might bump into you, or I think you're attractive, let's go get food. But that intention from day one might be different from my intention at day 60. So, I mean, when I'm thinking about this whole thing, I think, one, your intention should be clear, one, in the way that you live, and two, in the way that you approach people. You know what I mean? I think if people have to ask themselves, what do you want from me, that you've done a poor job of communicating the thing, whatever the thing is. At the same time, I think, out of respect for the fact that our intentions are fluid and that they change, that we have to be communicative. So I'm like, oh, well, last week I definitely just wanted dinner, but I mean, we've talked now. You know what I mean? I think I could love you. Like, what does that look like?
Right.
Are you feeling the same? And the last thing I guess I'll say on that, I mean, if we've moved through those kind of steps, the last thing to me is just integrity and conviction. You know, when intentions have been shared or when intentions change and you've communicated those things, do you have the integrity and the conviction to act on that, whether it be to stay or to leave, you know? So
That's true. So, you know, all in all, man, it's like when it comes down to intention can change as you progress through the relationship. Whereas for the fellas, you know, you may want to take her out to happy hour, or you want to go to brunch or something like that, and that may be your main intent, is to have companionship at that time. But as you continue to get to know someone, those intentions can change. I mean, you know, we know plenty of friends that go into the relationship with the intention for her to be a girlfriend, but then that intention changes whenever it's time for her. You see her as being a wife,
right?
So it's like, okay, now I'm intentionally dating you to be your husband, versus a year or two ago I was intentionally dating you to be your boyfriend. So those things transition over time.
So I guess that's one of the things that kind of like, I don't want to say I struggle with, but I think about, right? So when you say the intent of dating, right? I think what is the intent of dating? Not like just your intent, but what is the purpose of dating? Like, because when you hear about dating, it's usually for the end goal. But if that's not your intent going in, should you be dating? You know what I mean? Like, I struggle with that too. Like, if you're not ready for the end goal, should you even be dating?
I think so, because I think it's pivotal for teenagers to date, because it teaches them about themselves. It teaches them about what they like. It teaches them about what they dislike. And so at a younger age, dating is more recreational for you. But as you age and as you mature at whatever age of maturity you hit, then that recreational dating now transitions to purposeful dating, to be a spouse for someone.
Speaking of hitting, what if your intention is just to hit?
Hey, that's your intention.
Speak it though.
That's your intention. But that should be explained.
Dating is an expensive route. That's the long road.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we ain't have to do all that. But for me though, I mean, I guess, Sam, to your point, I think so much of our conversation around dating has like dating as a final destination, like in and of itself. And for me, dating is a vehicle. Its purpose is just to move your relationship from one stage to another, regardless of what that stage is. As long as you know where you're going, I don't think it matters. You know what I mean? So you say, I mean, I want to date, so that means I want to go from Applebee's to your house, right? And then back to my house and never speak again. There's a route for that. You know what I mean? At the same time, if you say, you know, I saw you from across the room, I definitely want to die with you by my side. There's a you know what I mean? I mean, you moving quick, but there's a route for that. You know what I mean? And so I don't think it so much matters where you're going, as long as you're going that direction on purpose, and as long as the person who's going with you knows and is in agreement with you. You know what I mean? So outside of that,
think of how many scenarios, homeboys, we know where they went into it with the intent to date a woman, but the woman said that only thing they wanted was sex.
Yeah, been there.
So
that's the ones that be messing us up. We be like, hold on,
right? And
my wife.
Those are the ones that put you in that future mode. You know, you in savage mode for the next year or so because you got your little feelings hurt.
Now you hurt.
You know what I mean? But think about those times. There are women out here that also, sometimes the illusion is that men only want sex, but a lot of times it's equal on both playing fields. It's just about the woman that you pick.
Yeah,
that's on that vibrational level.
Then you go outside her job, like, why are you being weird to me?
Yeah. Right. So whenever you intentionally dating a woman, when should sex be introduced into you feel like introducing to the relationship? Give me a time span.
I think it should
First
be
date.
yeah.
First,
Look, I really think it should be like natural. Like if the vibe gets there, boom, go there.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then I don't think you should try to force it. But I think if it gets there, it gets there.
what do you think, P?
I think definitely natural, but I tend to come up on that conversation like first dates a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it just kind of goes there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe not the first time, you know, because when you first start talking to somebody, you know, you're having fun, you're joking and everything, and it just kind of goes, you know, like, you know me, I throw a "that's what she said" joke in there. You know, and then boom, it just snaps
That
it
segue.
off. It kind of
So now that you mention it,
it opens up the creativity for that and the comfort zone too, to where it's like, oh, we can have sex jokes now.
Right.
So once you get to the point of like, oh, I found an avenue to have sex jokes. Not saying I'm using them, but it's like that just opens up another lane, another comfort zone. And once she's comfortable, and she might do it herself, like, hey, so how many guys or how many, you know, when they do that.
That's when you tell them, don't be playing with me, girl. Look, don't tempt me.
So now you having that. See. I, in my opinion, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with having those conversations. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a man or woman is expressing their sexual creativity. If that's what you want to do, you all are adults. Now, I do think with my years of dating that I've noticed a trend. Whereas early on, we in college, 18, 19, 21 years old, it's recreational. It's a lot of sex during that time. Then what you notice is after you graduate from college, all these shorties is like, I want a husband. I want a boyfriend. I want a da-da-da. That ranges typically between the ages of 22 to 27. Right. And then you notice as you eclipse that 27, 28 playing, you like, okay, women are coming a lot more relaxed and they're like, okay, I have to more so get on his program to get what I want, more so me conducting myself and saying, this is what I better get, you know? So transition away from that, crazy question for you. When should you meet the family when dating a woman?
as soon as possible.
ASAP? What?
ASAP. And because this is the thing, man, like so much, we were having a little conversation even off camera, but like, you know, for me, we don't think about like ecosystem in relationships a lot. Like I think we think about our relationships as like an island. It's in a vacuum. It's outside of the influence of everything else in the world. And as a person who's in a long-term relationship, like I'm married, you know what I'm saying? Like we gonna be together forever.
Right.
The fabric of your family has a huge impact on both the person that you're dealing with and the life that you all are gonna live. And if you ignore that, you setting yourself up. You know what I mean? I say even if their family is a good one, I think you're setting yourself up not to be prepared to contribute to that space. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that y'all all gotta, you know, sit down at Christmas or whatever, but as soon as I possibly can, I want to know what stock you come from. And I want you to know where I'm coming from, because not only that, I think too, it does a lot for context. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to understand who a person is in the context of the ecosystem that created them than it is to try to get to know them in a vacuum. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we hold off on that because there's so much maybe judgment and maybe they got to live with that. And my mama going to talk about you for the next 2 years because she met you one time. And like, I think we can manage that. But I'm like, listen, as soon as I can meet your people, I'm trying to be there. You know what I mean?
Does that come from the, you know, expressed intent though? Like we've had that conversation. We decided we want to be exclusive, whatever the case may be. Then you meet the family.
I feel like as a man, if you're vetting a young lady to be your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, I feel like it's vitally important to meet the family because, like AV said, I think it explains a lot of things, a lot of ways that the young woman has, a lot of reasons why she thinks a certain type of way, behaves a certain types of way. It kind of answers some of these questions that, you know, a lot of times men, we have these questions in the back of our head that we never really say, but we always think about like, I wonder why she like this. I wonder why she like that.
We just need to know if she's gonna be like her mama. That's really what it is.
I mean,
like,
but even but to that point though, like think, because you're not marrying a person. You know what I'm saying? You're marrying bloodlines. Like there's you gotta at a certain point, especially as a man, and especially if you playing into the kind of, you know, provider rip that we like to go on. Like, do I want to be the person who's expected to support this arm of my new family? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I really even like her grandma that much to be pulling up and cutting her grass? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know that the sooner you know that, the better, because then you can start making informed decisions. You know what I mean? Especially if you got options. It's like, I mean, you're a little bit cuter, but her family's a little bit more functional. You know what I'm saying? Those are real considerations to be made. But you got people who jump head first into lifelong relationships without ever considering whether or not they even want to be a part of that family or whether they want this person to be a part of theirs. And I'm saying that's a mistake.
I think more than 70% relationships are like that, you know, and that's a high number.
I go higher. I think you conservative, honestly.
Yeah, it might be higher, bro. And I definitely agree. I think it's more of a comfort zone too. I definitely agree with AV, because like me with my family, you know, I'm protective as well, and I think everybody is. But that's the smart way to go about it. It's like, you know, to bring them in or go that way. You know what I'm saying? I like to meet families because I like to learn who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm welcomed pretty well. So I'm like, yo, let's do it. Let me go ahead and get past this test. But now as I've get past the test. But as I've matured, you know, as a grown man, now I'm like, yo, it's very important to know a family, because now I get to know who I'm with. Because you don't know, like, if you learn the background, that's why, like, in counseling, they're like, yo, let me learn your background first. Like, you know, how were you raised?
It explains
now
the person.
you can see how somebody deals with problems. And when you really dissect the family, it's like, oh, their mom gets mad this way, their dad get mad this way, you know what I'm saying? And you'll see that in the person. So everything, oh, this is how their DNA is made up. The faster you learn that, the quicker you can learn if you can make it with a person or not. I mean, it's probably rare cases to where it's like, yo, I just don't deal with my family, you know, like that. But then you figure out why, and it's like,
I see why. Yeah.
now we have this problem, but I don't know where it came from.
But see, also too, you got to be careful, because a lot of times people can reinvent themselves.
Yeah,
When they come from toxic backgrounds, and you like, oh, I got me a unicorn. She different. She different. She different. Then you go meet the family, and all of them are alike, and they are different. You have to be aware of that, because that person sometimes lives with a facade that you have to be careful of as a man that you're investing in.
True.
So
I think I was a prime example of what AV said. Like, I always thought, like, being in a relationship, especially one that I had an end goal towards, it was us against the world.
Right.
Regardless of how her family was. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, her mom don't like me? Pfft, I don't care. It's just me and her anyway. Like, but I think you do got to take in consideration, like, how you can contribute to that family. What can you bring to the table? Like, will they accept what you're bringing? Will they allow you to move your family the way that you want? Or will they be intrusive and just be, you know, trying to make it the way they want? So I think it's definitely something to consider. But yeah, I didn't think about that.
I mean, throw just a tiny little thing in there. I mean, because our generation loves to have the generational wealth and direction conversations. And it's like, it would be silly to have that conversation thinking that journey begins with you. Like, you just got here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Their family, your family, whatever, may have had 6. Like, imagine you marrying one of the Waltons, and you like, I don't want to meet the family because we on a journey together. Like, bro, they on a 100-year journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, you gotta know to a point. Do I even have what it takes to offer that dynasty something? Because sometimes, and it's a hard pill, I think, for men, maybe especially to swallow. But you're jumping into something bigger than what you had planned,
That's real.
and bigger than what you are.